Before borders, before empires, before maps, there was only land. Endless land. And in that silence of frozen forests and impossible distances, one nation slowly took shape. A nation so vast that it spans continents, climates, and even time itself. This is Russia, and the story of how it was built is also the story of why it may be one of the hardest countries on Earth to control. At first glance, Russia looks simple on a map. A giant mass stretching across northern Eurasia, dominating everything around it. But maps lie. They flatten reality. They hide distance. They erase struggle. Because in reality, Russia is not one continuous place. It is many worlds stitched together by history, survival, and ambition. From the European heartlands of Moscow and St. Petersburg, to the frozen silence of Siberia, to the icy frontiers of the Arctic, Russia contains landscapes so different they feel like separate planets. And yet, all of them belong to a single country. A country where winter is not a season, but a force of history. Where cities can be thousands of kilometers apart, yet still politically connected. Where control is not just about governance, but about distance itself. To understand Russia is to understand something deeper than geography. It is to understand how land shapes power, and how power struggles against land. Russia begins with something the human mind struggles to comprehend. Size. Over 17 million square kilometers of territory, spanning 11 time zones, stretching from Europe to Asia, from Arctic ice to semi-desert plains. A traveler crossing Russia east to west would experience something unusual. Not just distance, but transformation. Cities give way to forests. Forests dissolve into frozen tundra. Tundra disappears into emptiness so vast it feels like the edge of the world. And still, the country continues. In Western Russia, life is dense, urban, fast-moving. Moscow rises as a modern metropolis of power and politics. St. Petersburg reflects imperial elegance and European influence. But as you move east, the rhythm changes. Roads become rare. Cities become distant. Human presence begins to fade. Until eventually, you reach a place that defines Russia more than any capital ever could. Siberia, a name that carries weight, silence, and fear. A land so large that it dominates most of Russia's territory, yet holds only a fraction of its population. Here, winter temperatures can drop to levels where breath freezes in the air. Rivers become highways of ice. Entire landscapes disappear under months of snow. And yet, Siberia is not empty. It is just unforgiving. One of Russia's greatest mysteries is not its size, but its imbalance. Most people live in the western edge of the country, near Europe, near history, near warmth. But why? The answer is survival. Because geography does not distribute comfort evenly. Western Russia offers access to trade routes, milder climates, fertile land, and historical centers of civilization. Eastern Russia offers distance, isolation, extreme cold, and landscapes that resist permanent settlement. This imbalance created a nation where millions live in tightly packed western corridors, while millions of square kilometers in the east remain sparsely inhabited. A country where emptiness is normal, and where distance defines daily life. To travel across Russia is not just to move through space. It is to move through survival conditions. Russia did not begin as a giant. It began as something fragile. Small principalities surrounded by powerful neighbors. From the west came European pressures. From the east came Mongol invasions that reshaped early Russian identity. For centuries, survival was uncertain. But something changed. Russia discovered a unique strategy that no other major civilization relied on at such scale. Expansion through land. Not oceans. Not colonies across seas, but continuous territory. Forests, rivers, plains, absorbed step by step into a growing state. The logic was simple. The bigger the land, the harder it is to invade. Distance becomes defense. And so Russia expanded eastward. Explorers, soldiers, and settlers pushed into unknown wilderness, crossing rivers no map had fully recorded in forests that seemed endless. By the time they reached the Pacific, Russia had already become something unprecedented, a continuous empire stretching across continents. But with this growth came a problem no empire had faced before. How do you rule something so large without breaking it? In 1812, Napoleon Bonaparte believed he could do what no one else had done. Conquer Russia. His army entered with confidence. Victory seemed inevitable. Cities were abandoned as Russian forces retreated deeper inland. But something strange happened. The deeper Napoleon went, the less he conquered. Because Russia was not resisting in the traditional sense. It was retreating, not to surrender, but to survive. And every kilometer deeper into Russian land made Napoleon weaker. Supplies stretched thin. Soldiers exhausted. Winter approaching. Then came Moscow. Burning. Empty. Abandoned. No victory. No surrender. No supplies. Just a city sacrificed to the vastness of the land itself. And when Napoleon turned back, Russia revealed its greatest weapon. Not armies. Not weapons. But distance. The journey back destroyed what the invasion had not. And history learned a brutal lesson. Russia cannot be beaten by taking cities. Because Russia is not built around cities. It is built around space. If Western Russia is the heart, Siberia is the body. A massive, frozen expanse stretching from the Ural Mountains to the Pacific Ocean. A land so large it contains multiple climates, ecosystems, and time zones within a single region. Winter here is not harsh. It is absolute. Temperatures drop so low that steel becomes fragile. Rivers freeze into solid highways. Entire forests disappear beneath snow that lasts for months. And yet, life exists. Cities like Yakutsk survive in conditions that would freeze most human activity. But Siberia is not just suffering. It is wealth. Beneath its frozen surface lies one of the richest resource zones on Earth. Oil, gas, diamonds, gold, minerals. It is a paradox. A land almost impossible to live in, yet impossible to ignore. In the modern world, empires no longer fall because of invasions. They struggle because of connection. And Russia faces a challenge few countries can understand. How do you manage a nation that spans 11 time zones? When morning in Moscow is already night in the Far East. When cities are separated by distances greater than entire continents. Infrastructure becomes everything. Railways become lifelines. Pipelines become arteries. Without them, the country would fragment into isolation. The Trans-Siberian Railway is not just transport. It is unity carved in steel. A journey across it is not a trip. It is a transformation across worlds. Above Russia lies another frontier. The Arctic, once ignored, now becoming one of the most strategic regions on Earth. As ice melts, new shipping routes emerge. Shorter paths between Europe and Asia. And Russia sits at the center of it all. With the longest Arctic coastline in the world, it controls access to future global trade routes. But this also brings risk, extreme conditions, high costs, environmental challenges, and global competition. The Arctic is no longer empty. It is becoming valuable. Russia is not just a country. It is a geography of extremes. A place where land itself shapes politics, survival, and identity. Where distance is power, and space is both a gift and a burden. From frozen Siberian silence to the bustling streets of Moscow, Russia stretches across a world within a world. And perhaps that is its greatest truth. It is not simply the largest country on Earth. It is one of the clearest reminders that the world is still vast, unforgiving, and far more complex than maps will ever show. And yet, despite wars, winters, invasions, and collapse, it remains.